So when you think about the RPK experience, Plane Kistler, from my perspective, I saw that all as good, um, and so I wouldn't want to overcompensate for how that experience went because I think it all was really important to the ultimate partnership and the ultimate success of COTS. We took a risk with RPK to some extent. We felt like um, it was a manageable risk. We had two partners in the portfolio. We knew we were going to pick two. We didn't know at the start how many we were going to pick, but we knew we wanted more than one. And so we had two, and to some extent they complemented each other. Rocketplane Kistler obviously had a higher risk area on their financing. And we knew that going in, but we thought it was achievable, and they were pretty close. I think if you did a knowledge management activity just with Rocketplane Kistler, you'll find that in a different time, had things unfolded differently, they could have been successful. They weren't breaking the laws of physics, but they had a more aggressive financing plan. And so I think we went into that with our eyes wide open. There's never a guarantee for success in any endeavor, and you should never strive to that, in my opinion. When stakeholders ask for a guarantee, we shouldn't even attempt to give them that kind of satisfaction because you just can't guarantee in spaceflight, and particularly in human spaceflight, that you are going to be successful with your cost and schedule and technical goals. So we took a risk. They were close, but they didn't make it in the end. And one of the advantages was that we were able to pivot fairly quickly. We hadn't invested a lot of money, and we structured some of the milestones, early financing milestones, so that we would be able to know if they were going to be able to fish or cut bait fairly early in the partnership. And so fairly early on, I don't even think that they were within a year of the agreement, they ran into some trouble. It was clear that additional work wasn't being accomplished, and so we were able to exit from that agreement fairly quickly, fairly painlessly, and take the money and put it towards another partner. And in this case, we took the lessons learned from that. We took a slightly more conservative approach. Orbital had a less aggressive financing and was the right choice at that time. So then we had two good partners that ultimately became successful. So I think that experience, while you could look back on it and say, oh, that wasn't the greatest thing, I think it demonstrated some other aspects of the partnership that you wouldn't have seen had both of our original awardees been successful in the beginning. So I have a lot of positive takeaways from that. I don't see that as a negative, whereas some people do. And yes, we did spend some money that didn't ultimately get us to the final end products with the Cygnus Antares system or the Dragon Falcon system, but I don't think it was money wasted. It was money that went into the partnership. Doesn't always trace back to the end game, but it made the partnership stronger, and I think it ultimately made our decisions going forward a little bit better.